Hey there guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Dragoon. In the last episode we looted the Stardust and items, as well as got some new weapons at the Ypsilon Castle, or Indil's Castle of the capital Bale. So that is the city we just left, Bale, and we were informed that we will be fighting alongside King Albert against the Imperial Knights of Sandora, and the front line for this war is going to be at the town of Hoax. So whenever you're ready, make sure you get some healing items from Bale. Also, we got a total of 6 Stardust in Bale, and we got a new sword for Dart. If you didn't pick it up in a limestone cave, make sure you grab it in Bale. It's the Bastard Sword, and make sure you have that equipped to Dart. Also, we got new armor for Dart, a new headpiece for Dart, and a new bow for Shayna. Now before we go, I'm going to quickly show you, I am using the double slashed edition. It's really weak, but the reason I'm using it is because it's so close to being maxed out. For beginners that are not accustomed to the addition battle system of this game, I would highly recommend you to use Volcano, because if you have been using it since the beginning of the game, it should be close to level 5 like mine, and that means it's going to be doing the most damage, and it's going to help you out for the tougher battles that's coming up. So if you are pretty used to this game and you're over leveled like I am, go ahead and use double slash to max it out. But if not, I would highly recommend sticking with Volcano, because that's going to do massive damage and make these upcoming battles a lot more easier. Also, you get a 3rd edition for Dart called Burning Rush whenever you get him to level 8. So before we go in, I'm going to quickly go over my levels. Dart is at level 8, Lavit's level 7, and Shayna is at level 6. They are equipped with all the new equipment and up to date. Now, if you aren't at this high of a level, I would highly recommend just getting at least everyone to level 7, or Lavitz and Dart to level 7, and Shayna to at least level 5, if not 6. And whenever you are ready, make sure you have plenty of healing potions and Angel's Prayers, because this is going to get real messy, and there is no item shop inside the town of Hoax. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and enter Hoax, which is the front line for the war. And immediately Shayna notices that the town of Hoax doesn't really look like a town, but more like a fortress. And that is mainly due to this war. Alright, so the first objective is to report to Kaiser and discuss the battle formation and the battle conditions. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and enter the green door just beside the yellow arrow, and you'll find Kaiser in the back. So it looks like Shayna is going to be preparing the meals while Dart and Lavitz are on guard duty. So you can be mean or nice. I'm going to be nice today. And let Lavitz be mean about Shayna's cooking. Alright, so it looks like Dart and Shayna are sent to look around and get familiar with the town of Hoax, while Lavitz stays with Kaiser and talks about the war meeting. Now this is your only chance to loot the items in this area before it gets really hectic, and some of them are completely missable if you don't get them now. So first off, let me just tell you, there are 2 Stardust in this area, and they're both really tricky to find. So first we're going to take care of the first Stardust, because the second one isn't accessible until after we are done exploring. So go ahead and enter the house on the 2nd floor, just above where we met Kaiser. And inside the house you'll find stairs leading down to the lower level, basement. Here you will find a fireplace. The Stardust is located inside the fireplace. So go ahead and check that to acquire the first Stardust. Now there's only one more remaining Stardust in this town. But first we are going to loot the items, because if you don't loot them now, you won't be able to get them later. So go ahead and enter the back door of the house where we found the Stardust, and you should be on a catwalk above. Go ahead and run around the town of Hoax, because it's kind of built like a maze. It's a fortress. And enter the house at the very south of the town. Here you'll find 2 soldiers and a chest that is under the stairs. So go ahead and descend the stairs and then run behind them to reach the chest that you can open for a healing potion. Once you've got that, you can talk to the soldiers and get information about the dragon that the Imperial Knights of Sandora are using. You can talk to the other one to get an idea of the bases and the defense lines for the Kingdom of Bazil, which is King Albert. Next up, we're going to enter the house on the southeast part of town. Here you will find a ladder heading down to the lower level of the house, where you'll find a midwife in the rocking chair. This is Midwife Gilda. When are we having a baby? Oh my god, Shayna's down for that. Somebody's got a crush. Oh, and it looks like she was the midwife for King Albert. Shayna don't like that very much. Alright, so from talking to the midwife, you actually get some insight on how this war originally started. So, before the war, there was one king that ruled all of Serdio, and that was King Carlos, which is King Albert and King Doyle's father. Well, when King Carlos passed away, Doyle, the older brother of Albert, broke away and did his own thing because he couldn't stand that King Albert, who was only 6 years old, was to be crowned the king of Serdio. So because of that, Doyle broke away and started retaliating against Albert. And now currently this is why the war is going on, because Albert has control of the northern part of Serdio, while Doyle, his older brother, has control of the southern part. And each brother wants to rule the entire kingdom and not just half of it. So they're pretty much trying to overthrow each other, even though they're brothers. Now back at the top of the ladder, you can examine the crate in this house for 20G. Once you've got that, go ahead and use the action button to jump back out of the house, and that's going to take care of the southern part of the town. Now we're going to head back through the house where we found the first Stardust in this town earlier, and now we are going to enter the yellow arrow, which is the resting area. Here you'll find a bunch of beds where you can sleep for 10G. So I would highly recommend sleeping to refill your HP and MP to max. Once you're all rested up, grab the crate on the right hand side of this room, and inside contains an angel's prayer. Once you have that, go ahead and exit the resting area. And that takes care of the items on the outside. Now this is the tricky one, and it's very easily missable. You're going to want to head back into where we met Kaiser, but before you talk to him, now this is very important, do not talk to Kaiser. Instead, you want to examine the southwest part of this room. Here you will acquire the second Stardust in this town, and that is going to complete your Stardust collection for this town. So now if you open your menu, just to make sure that you guys aren't behind on Stardust, we have a total of 9. And remember, I explained earlier that when you get 10 Stardust, you can turn them in for a prize. So I believe there are 50 Stardust in this game, and every 10 Stardust you get a rare item for turning them in. So we only need one more, and then we can go back to Bale, where the lady that bumped into us as we were leaving, you remember her? That is who we turn our Stardust into, and she moves periodically around the world. So just take note on that. Whenever you get 10, you might want to head back to Bale and turn in the 10 Stardust. So we're only one away. So now that we have all the items in the town of Hoax, you can go ahead and talk to Kaiser again for the battle conditions. And once you are sure that you have everything and you are ready, you can choose "We are fine now" to get things in motion. And it looks like Lavitz and Dart are going to be on nighttime guard duty. And it looks like we're going to be guarding the back gate. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and ascend the stairs, and Lavitz will follow you, and head over to the guard in order to relieve him. after relieving the guard, the time will shift to nighttime. Okay, so Dart is going to go and run and get something to eat. So go ahead and descend the stairs. And halfway down, the action is about to start. Here's where it's going to get really hectic. Knights of Sandora are going to ambush, and we are going to have to fight back. So here's where the war breaks out. You're immediately going to be thrown into a battle. Alright, so we got 2 Sandora soldiers. We're going to take these guys out as quick as possible.
Double flash.
They have roughly 40 HP apiece, and they can do moderate damage, especially if they slash you with the sword. So the key is to focus on one at a time.
Double flash.
Now, before finishing off the second night, you might want to keep guarding so that you can restore your HP. Because we are going to be thrown into several different battles. So we're going to want to have everyone's HP maxed out. So just continue to guard until everyone's HP is maxed out. And it looks like we're ready to go. Once you've guarded and everyone's at max health, finish them off and get ready for battle number 2. For winning, you get 60 gold and 50 experience. Here's where things are going to get interesting. Like there is a Sandora elite soldier at the top. So it looks like we're going to have to run up there and fight him with Dart. And Lavitz comes for backup. Alright, so now this is a pretty tricky fight. The Sandora Elite has roughly 2,500 or 250 HP. I'm sorry, 250 HP. So begin hacking them down with additions.
Double flash.
Big damage to Lavitz there. Just keep focusing on him and try to successfully hit all of your additions in order to take him down quickly.
Double lash.
Oh, and he countered me. Wow.
Yep. Double lash.
Now make sure you always check on Lavis's HP, because you don't want him to lose too much HP or he could be downed. Whenever you get the Sandora Elite halfway down on HP, he will use a trick to make 3 different copies of himself. Now you need to take note that while attacking the wrong person, there is only one of these 3 guys that is the real one. And if you attack the wrong one, it's going to do 0 damage. So what you're going to have to do is keep attacking until you nail the right one. And as you can see, we got the right one first try. So if you accidentally hit the wrong copy, it's just going to do 0 damage, and you're going to have to try again until you eventually hit him. Whenever you hit the correct person, who is the real Sandora Elite, his copies will disappear and you can focus on him and take him out. Now before we take him out, I would highly recommend to guard and get your HP back up to maximum.
Double lash.
And we got him again. First try. I'm pretty good at this. Go ahead and guard one more time with Lavitz so that he's at full HP, and then we can finish him off with Dark's double slash. And there he goes. So now make sure your HP is at full, because this is the toughest battle we fought so far. So for winning, you get 50 G, and you get an experience of 200, which means 100 experience to each player. And also you get a healing breeze item. And what is that thing? It's a giant. So here's where the trouble's where most people are gonna have a lot of trouble. After defeating the Sandora Elite, you will have to battle an enemy known as a Giganto, which is like a giant. Alright, so now this is the 3rd battle in a row, and you are going to be going against a pretty tough boss fight against the Giganto. Now, this Giganto known as Congo is a brute. He has very high physical defense, and he has very damaging physical attack. What he is weak against, though, is magic. So the best thing you can do is use Spark Neck, Burnout, or Dark Mist if you have any. However, I am going to simply use additions because I want to level up my additions as fast as possible. Now, one thing you need to take note of, this is very important. If you are going to use an addition on Congo, make sure that you can perform it successfully. Because if you mess up on the addition, you not only don't do any damage to him, but he counterattacks with a vicious attack that does massive damage. So successfully complete the addition and you will do damage, but if you mess up and are interrupted while doing an addition, you will be penalized severely. So I'll show you what I mean. Well, hopefully I don't have to show you what I mean. I can land all the additions, but I'm sure I might mess up one of these times. By the way, Congo has roughly 275 HP, and he is Earth Element. So you're going to want to use the weakness to Earth if you're going to use magic.
Double slash.
I'm just going to keep attacking with additions though. And this is where it gets real nasty. Once you lower his HP a little bit, Congo will say he needs no weapon. He will beat you with his hands. So this is where it gets nasty. If you mess up on your addition, you're screwed here. You're going to get hit for massive damage. So be very careful from here on out. Make sure you time your additions and nail them successfully. Now Congo's attacks are ferocious. He does massive damage. Take note on the arrow above Congo's head whenever you are selecting him as a target to attack. Remember, it goes from blue, which means he's near full health, to yellow, which means his HP is down to half, and then to red, meaning that he is close to death.
Double slash.
So I'm going to keep attacking mercilessly with my additions. I remember as a kid, I could never get past this battle. This battle was so hard. And now, like, it looks so easy.
Double slash.
And there he goes. Ooh, Dart will try to deliver the final blow, but gets punched back. And it's looking pretty grim for Dart. What's going on here? Knock that big bitch back. And now it looks like Dart has transformed. And this is what is known as a Dragoon. So now you know what the title actually means, The Legend of Dragoon. For defeating Congo, you get 50 gold and 300 experience. Also, you get a very awesome accessory called the Power Wrist. And with that, my Lavit's leveled up to level 8, and Dart is really close to leveling up as well. at Dart. He looks pimped out. The night of the dragon, the Dragoon, was born. So it looks like Dart's Dragoon spirit has awakened. And it looks like Rose is being yelled at by Shayna. By the way, Rose is the mysterious woman that appeared out of the sky with wings and awoken Dart's Dragoon spirit. Now you can explain that Rose saved your life. And it looks like Dart deserves to rule dragons. So Dart's father's memento that he's been carrying around all these years was actually the red-eyed Dragoon spirit. used to being hated. And it looks like the 7th fort is now being attacked by Sandoras. As if the town of Hoax wasn't enough, now we got the 7th fort under attack. Basil's forces are being eliminated by the Knights of Sandora. Oh, and it's being attacked by the dragon. So now you have a choice to make. Accept your existence as a Dragoon and kill the dragon, or you still don't know. What I suggest to pick is maybe I can do it now, so we can get things moving. Looks like Rose is gonna accompany us to slay this dragon. The green tusked dragon, Firebrand. Alright, so after the cutscenes ended, you will now be in a burnt down and destroyed town of Hoax. The first thing I recommend to do is to head into the resting area and rest up. At least the beds are still intact. So go ahead and sleep so that you can restore your HP and MP. And as long as you have looted all the items in the town, you can go ahead and exit. Alright, so now you have two options to choose. You can be quiet, or you can choose then tell me Rose. Now, what this means is, because you are now a Dragoon, you can go into Dragoon status at as long as you have enough SP accumulated in battle. So the Dragoon is pretty much like a overlimit, or like a really strong attack. And if you are unaccustomed to this game and this is your first time playing, she will give you a tutorial on how to control your character as a Dragoon. If you've already played this game and you know how to attack as a Dragoon, then you can just choose the 3 dots to skip the tutorial. So then again, if you are unsure how to fight as a Dragoon, because there's going to be a new command added to the battle system, you can simply talk to Rose now and she will explain all you need to know. So I would highly recommend talking to her and getting the basics if you don't know what you're doing really, or this is your first time playing the game. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and move to the exit, and she will say, once we leave the town, I will consider you as a mature Dragoon, meaning that she won't teach you how to fight anymore. If you're completely ready, choose OK, I'll be alright. And after the battle, you will be back on the world map. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the replace command now that we have more than 3 characters. And I'm going to put Rose in our new party. If you want to keep Shayna around, who is helpful for guarding and tossing items on people who are low on health, you can do that. But I like Rose better because not only does she have more HP and is at a higher level, but her physical attacks do more damage, and she can use additions. And she's a Dragoon that already has a Dragoon spirit. So that's really strong in battle. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Rose in as my new main party battle members. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and backtrack over to the east side of the world map. And again, Dart is really close to leveling up, so if you want to spend a little bit of time on the world map trying to level whoever's close to leveling up in your game, you can do that. However, the path that you need to take, if you head slightly to the east on the world map, you're going to want to take the first path that branches off to the south, and it's going to take you into the marshland, which is represented by a bunch of trees and stuff on the world map. So once you have everything ready and you have your current battle members equipped, I'm going to go ahead and save the game, and that's going to conclude this episode of Let's Play The Legend of Dragoon. So I'll see you guys next time where we head into the marshlands in order to defend the 7th fort and possibly try and defeat the dragon, who is on the Imperial Knights of Sandora side of the war. See you guys next time.